how you told me I can trust you completely. So why am I doubting when you prove that you'd fight for me? You've walked me through fire, pulled me from flames. If you're in this with me, I won't be afraid. When the smoke billows higher, oh, and higher, and it feels like I can barely breathe. I walk through these fires, 'cause you're walking with me. I'm changed by your mercy, covered by your peace. I'm living out the victory. Does it mean I won't feel the heat?
Tụi con để ý đến cái lời của bài hát nha.
Me through fire, pull me from flames. If you're
One is with me, I won't be afraid.
when the smoke billows higher, oh, it's higher, and it feels like I can barely breathe.
I will be fire, 'cause you're walking with me. When I look down, oh, you're here with me. I can do all things, oh, you stand by me.
How you showed me the path of my redemption. Lord, how could I
question when you prove that you died for me?
You've walked me through
Fire, pull me from flames. If you please with me, are you afraid?
fires higher, always higher.
This fire, you are here with me. This fire, you are here with me. Yeah, cái bài hát này là Fire. I like this song very much. Ok tụi con. Hôm nay chúng ta tĩnh tâm phải không? Tĩnh tâm về bổn mạng của chúng ta là thánh nào? Thánh Joseph. So now tụi con muốn cha nói tiếng Anh hay là tiếng Việt? Both, right? Okay. So today we have a short retreat. Short, very short, 1 hour. Okay, about our patron saint, Saint Joseph. And before we start, we just finished our mass, and now God is in us. We just received the body and blood of Jesus, right? Jesus in you now, and Holy Spirit in you now. Do you feel like God is in you? You feel that, right? Yeah, we feel that. We don't know that by our mind, but we believe that God is in us. Because if God is not in us, we will be done. Alright? So, bây giờ cha muốn tập cho tụi con bài hát này. I want to sing with you this song. And please remember this song. Okay? God is surprised. No way. Ow! Wow. Surprise, surprise. God is a surprise. Right before your eyes. It's baffling to the wise. Nghe bài hát này khi nào chưa? Chưa à? Ok. Bây giờ cha hát trước rồi tụi con hát sau nha. Wow, surprise, surprise, God it is surprise, right before is baffling to the wise. Surprise, surprise, God it is surprise. Open up your eyes and see. Dễ không? Cho cha phỏng tay, một tràng pháo tay đi. Ok, thank you. Rồi bây giờ tụi con hát nha, hát cái phần trước. Wow, surprise, surprise, God is a surprise. Right before your eyes is baffling to the wise. That's it. Okay, the first part first. Wow, surprise, surprise, God right before your eyes is baffling to the wise. One more time. Surprise, surprise, is baffling to the wise. One more time. Wow, surprise, surprise, God it is surprise. Right before your eyes is baffling to the wise. You know what? When I was a seminarian and I studied about philosophy, one of the purpose of philosophy is helping you to know how to surprise. You know, when we really know how to be surprised, we could be happy. Right? Have you ever looked very close to a flower? If you really look close to the flower, you'll be surprised. Who made this flower? No one in this world can make a real flower. And if you really look at that, especially if you look, under a telescope, you see a wonderful thing. If you know how to look at your face in the mirror, you get surprised. Because nobody in this world look like you. You are the only one. Do you know why people use the fingerprint to identify human being? Because nobody in this world have the same fingerprint like you. You was born in this world and then you will exist forever. You never die. I'm 44 years old, 45 years old. 45 years ago, I didn't exist yet. But I'm here for 44 years already. And I will exist forever. Why? Because human being, we have a body. But more importantly, we have a soul. Right? Have you ever feel about your soul? You have a soul. And your soul is so beautiful. Even your face, So if you learn how to be surprised, you'll be happy. Okay? So surprise. God is a surprise. Right before your eyes. Not far away. Right before your eyes. If you know how to open your eye and see. And it's baffling to the wise. Do you know who is the wise? The scientist. The person who really know what it is. If you are an expert about something else, you will discover so many wonderful things. The scientists, the real scientists, they believe that God exists. Because they know that. We don't know. So we say, okay, this or that, yes or no, I don't know. But who really know about something, who are expert about something, they really believe that God exists. Most of scientists in the world, they have faith. Because they know the reason. They know, what's the utmost reason. God must exist. And without Jesus, we have no idea about God. Okay? And Jesus came into this world, and Saint Joseph is his father. Even God has a father and has a mother, Jesus Christ. So you too, you have a father and a mother. And your father and your mother love you more than anybody else. Okay? So surprise. God is a surprise. Right before your eyes. You don't need to go to the moon to find God. You don't need to go anywhere else. Right before your eyes. But you realize God or not, it depends on your faith. Right? Right before your eyes is baffling to the wise. Surprise. God. Open your eye and see. Not only these eyes, only your physical eyes, but the eyes of your soul, the eyes of your understanding, the eyes of your study. And you must, wow, God is real. And not only real, God loves me. You know what? Saint Teresa of Lisieux, right? Little Teresa. She said, God, if the church don't teach me like God create everything for everyone, and I thought like God create everything for only myself. Because whatever she see, she realized the love of God for her. Early in the morning, she wake up and she saw a bird fly by and sing for her a song. She said, God, you're so wonderful. You create a wonderful bird to come here and sing for you in some second. And then that bird fly away. I feel happy. I feel loved. Thank God. Even the bird, you know. And if you create myself for 44 years, I become Redemptorist priest for 22 years. I become a priest for 9 years to come here today to share to you this message. Can you imagine? God loves you. Right? So, surprise, surprise. God is a surprise. Open your eye and see. If you have the eyes of faith, you see God everywhere. You don't need a proof, but you know that God exists. Like you don't see love, but you know that love exists. You don't see your breath, you don't see air, but without breathing, you die. But you do see that? You see your breath? No. But we know that. You see the love of your parents give to you? You don't see love, but you know that love exists. And love is more important than anything else. And that is God. Okay, so the second part, surprise, surprise, God it is surprise. Open up your eyes and see. Okay, the second part, please. Surprise, surprise, God it is surprise. Open up your eyes and see. Okay, so now we sing the whole song, okay? Wow, surprise, surprise, God it is surprise. Right before your eyes, it's sparkling to the wise. Surprise, surprise, God it is surprise.
Open up your eyes
And see. So now, if you open up your eye, you can see God. But more importantly, if you open up your heart, because we have freedom. Sometimes we close our heart to someone else. Right? If you really open your heart for God, you know Him. You know, He's real more than anything else. I just discovered that secret. God is real than anything else. The most important is, do we really open our eyes? Do we really open our heart? Do we really open our ear to listen? As a human, we not only have this eye, we have the eyes of our soul, our eye of our spirit. We have the ears of our soul too. Somebody do something and you hear it. You know? And we have the heart, not only the physical heart, but a spiritual heart. So human being is so wonderful, I'm telling you. Okay, so now we sing. So this part, we sing the first part. And this part, we sing the second part. Okay? Well, surprise, surprise, God it is surprise. It's buffing to the white. Surprise, surprise. Open up your eyes and see. Wonderful. Thank you tụi con. Rồi bây giờ chúng ta hát chung với nhau một lần nữa nha. Bây giờ tụi con nhắm mắt lại, tụi con hát. Có thuộc chưa nhỉ? Now close your eyes. Close your eyes to sing so you can see surprise. Sing with your heart, okay? 1, 2, 3. Well, surprise, surprise. God it is surprise. Right before your eyes is sparkling to the wise. Surprise, surprise, God is surprise. Open up your right now and see. Thank you very much. Đấy, điều đầu tiên cha muốn nói với tụi con, I want to tell you is God is surprise. Okay? Everybody teach you about God, your parents, your catechist, your teacher. But if you don't open your eyes, you cannot see God. Because God is something very general, but God is something very personal. If you don't have experience and encounter Him personally, you have no idea about Him. And God, our God is a hidden God. You know, He hides Himself, you know. So you have to searching for Him. You know why God hide Himself in that tabernacle? Why God hide Himself in a small host? Because as a human, we cannot receive Him as who He is. God, who is creator, who created everything, He's big. We cannot receive Him as who He is. And because of love, He loves us. So He have to hide a little bit, you know, small. So we can receive Him. It fits with us. And you have to searching for Him. And you never feel satisfied. You know Him, you feel happy, you feel satisfied, but not totally. Only later in heaven. Can you imagine you love someone, right? You fall in love with someone far away in Vietnam. For example, you guys, you know, have a boyfriend in Vietnam. You talk to each other on FaceTime, Facebook, whatever, and you longing for one another. Right? And one day, you met that guy. Oh my God, this is my love. Ooh, surprise, surprise. You must be very happy. Right? And that is heaven. That is heaven. I know that one day I will go to heaven. And each one of us will go to heaven. Because we believe in God. And hell is someone much. Someone loves you so much, waiting for you, do everything for you, give you everything, and you just betray that person. You say, I just go by my own way. And later, when you see him, you feel shame. You feel, oh my God, why I'm so bad? Why I'm so bad? He loved me, He died for me, He forgave everything, my sins. And then He's so pure, like the sun. You know, now you go to the airport, you pass TSA, right? And if you hide in yourself, people know that. Right? You get through the TSA gate, everything is up here. The same thing. Later, the love of God is so strong. The love of God can see through you, and you see yourself. And that is judgment. If you have a sin, if you betray Him, if you are a bad person, you know yourself. You have a cancer in your heart. Say, God, why I have a cancer right here? And then God say, I don't know you. Because you choose that way. And then you feel shame and you hide away from Him. You hide away from Him, and that is hell. Heaven and hell is real. Heaven and hell is real. But you choose it. You choose that. But don't be afraid, because God loves you. If you just say, God, I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm human. Sometimes I'm do stupid thing, but I'm sorry. And I say, okay, son, daughter, that's fine. Come back to me. And that's the meaning of Lent. Okay? So God loves us so much. God is surprised. So try to remember this song, okay? And sometime you guys should sing together. All right? Okay.
Hello, my name is Father Alfred Bradley. And
So now you see what it is. This is the first class relic of St. John Newman. I was ordained in Boston in 2014. And then after that, my superior transferred me to Philadelphia. I worked in the shrine of St. John Newman for 6 years. You know who he is? St. John Newman, he's the first saint of the United States. He's the founder of the Catholic school system. And he's the fourth bishop of Philadelphia. And so this is, something about his shrine. He's my first pastor, Father Al Bradley. So this is his body. You know, in the United States, we have his body, his actual body. He died. He came to United States from Germany in 1836. And then he became a priest. He worked in Buffalo area, very close to the border between United States and Canada. And after 3 years as a priest, people picked him up as a bishop. And he became 4th bishop of Philadelphia. And during the time of bishop, he built 80 churches. He built a bank. He established a bank for the immigrants, for those who first came to the United States, can have a chance to borrow money. Because when he came to the United States, he had only $1 in his pocket. And he built 80 churches. He established 40 hours of Eucharistic adoration. He established an order, a nun's order. And he's the founder of Catholic school system. He became a bishop for just only 10 years. And one day, he died on the street. He went to the post office to send a chalice, a chalice that priests use to say mass, for he's a priest. And on the way back from the post office to his house, he collapsed on the street. At that time, people don't know why he died. But now people can say like he died because of heart attack. So he died, and then people bury him at the back. At the back, this is the main altar of the basement. The church that he was buried is the church belonged to Redemptorists. Beautiful church, right? So underneath of that church is a basement, like our church here. So when a bishop died, normally people bury him in the cathedral. But at that time, St. John Newman, building up the Cathedral of Philadelphia. So the cathedral was under construction, so people couldn't bury him in the cathedral. So people bury him in the Redemptorist church, underneath of the main church, together with other priests and brother. So he died in 1860, right here, at the back of this altar, at the back here. 100 years after that, in 1963, he was beatified. So when a saint in our Catholic Church, when someone was beatified on the way to become a saint, people would dig his body up. And the body is real. It's still there. It's not corrupted at all. Only his nose and his eyes was corrupted. So people brought him up and then put him in a coffin. And later, now, people put him underneath of the main altar. Every year, thousand people come and pray. So this is a little bone. People take the bone from his backbone, right? So he can travel around. So right here we have his book, and his book. He's a bishop mitre. He's a chalice. So wherever I go, I travel together with him. And people come and pray to him, and they receive miracle. I will see you a miracle later. Okay, so now take a look about something, just short movie about the shrine. Oh.
Hello, my name is Father Alfred Bradley, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the National Shrine of St. John Newman. St. John Newman was a tireless preacher of the gospel to the poor. As a Redemptorist priest and the 4th Bishop of Philadelphia, he served immigrant families and children. Desiring to strengthen the faith of Catholic families, he built more than 80 churches and 40 schools. He is considered by many to be the founder of the Catholic school system in America. Bishop Newman is laid to rest here in this glass crypt, where the faithful have come for more than 100 years to seek his intercession. At the shrine, we strive to imitate his example. Welcoming all who come to visit his tomb, we offer space for prayer, worship, renewal, and reconciliation.
That's the upper church.
Countless pilgrims, including Saints Catherine Drexel and Pope John Paul II, have helped to make this holy ground. We invite you to visit us. We're located just a few minutes from downtown Philadelphia at the parish of St. Peter the Apostle at 5th Street and Girard Avenue. To learn more about the National Shrine of St. John Newman, please visit our website, stjohnnewman.org.
Okay. You know what? When he died on the street, and people found out 2 things in his pocket. Another pocket is a candy, and another pocket is rosary. In order to become a saint in Catholic Church, you need 3 miracles. And St. John Newman, he made all these 3 miracles to a little one. Like you. You know, like you. He loved little one. He loved little children. Because of that, he's a founder of the Catholic school system in the United States. Okay? So, do you believe in miracle? Do you need a miracle? Let me tell you the story relate to my family. Okay? In 2018, my father, my biological father, have a stomach cancer. I have to fly back to Vietnam and stay in hospital for 1 month. And doctor said, my father will die soon. Only 6 to 8 months. And eventually, people have to cut the whole stomach. He have no stomach. Before he get cancer, every week he drive by motorbike 70 kilometers to go to the mountain to become a missionary. You know? And then he get cancer, and then people cut the whole stomach. So he need 12 chemotherapies. And only 6 he cannot endure anymore. Because the blood, the white cell died too much. So he cannot endure anymore. And my family surrendered to God. I say, I don't know what to do. At that time, in 2018, I still in the shrine of St. John Newman. I prayed to him every single night. And my father was healed. Right now, my father is still alive. And now he can continue as a missionary. He drives 90 kilometers every weekend to go to the Montagnard people on the mountain to do the mission. Can you imagine? And for me, I do believe that comes from St. John Newman because I threat him. I said, St. John Newman, I go around and preach about you. If you don't heal my father, you done. And this happened. Yes. St. John Newman, I'm telling you, he healed so many people. The first miracle that I am a witness is, at that time I just came to St. John Newman Shrine in 2014. Only 6 months after my arrival. At that night, very late at night, a young man, 25 years old, his name is Michael. He called me, Father, can you go to the hospital and anoint my father? He's dying. And I go right away. When I came into this ICU in the hospital, there's a man, he kind of, 56 years old. And doctor said his brain is totally dead for 9 days already. 9 days. And then the next day, he said tomorrow his wife will show up and they will sign a paper and they will take the tube out and he will be done. Because your brain died 9 days. You have no hope. So I blessed him with the tiny relic of St. John Newman and I go home. 2 weeks after that, right after noon mass, someone called me. But at that time, I was saying mass, so I didn't pick up the phone, but he left a message. After the mass, listen that message. They say, Father, he said long message. But at the end, he said, Father, thank you. You saved my life. I feel like, what? Who are you? And I call him back and say, Father, you forgot. But 2 weeks ago, you came from the shrine of St. John Newman. You anointed me. And now I'm talking to you. And then I said to him, like, okay, so what's going on? He said, like, doctor said, my brain is totally dead for 9 days. But now I'm talking to you, and doctor said, I will be home in 2 weeks. At that time, I still doubt. I said, okay, so when you go home, can you come to the shrine? I want to talk to you. And he said, sure. Next day, he called me and said, Father, not in 2 weeks. Now, I'm on the way home. I will pass by the shrine, and I will talk to you. And I'm waiting for him right there in front of, his body. He walked in, my God, really? So he come up and he kneeled right in front of John Newman and he cried like a baby. He said he's a Lazarus. He come back from death. He know that. And he said this is the second miracle happened to his family. The son who called me 25 years ago, he just a little baby and he somehow, a poisonous come to his body. and he said his body like a balloon, big, and it's going to explode. You know, so he heard about St. John Newman, so he came and he prayed to St. John Newman. And when he was praying, he saw a priest, and he asked that priest, came to the hospital and anointed his son. And 2 weeks after that, the son was healed totally, and doctor have no explanation. So 25 years later, the son called me for him. And now both of them, the son become a policeman in New York City. And he's a driver for a congressman from Philadelphia to White House in Washington, D.C. every single week. And that is the first miracle that I'm the witness. I'm anointed that man and many others. But now I want to show you another miracle. This miracle, people in US, people put it on TV. Okay?
We presented many medical miracles on our show, but none as profound and mysterious as the one you're about to see. It involves two young boys. One is dying, the other is already dead, and yet they're about to meet in a most miraculous... In January 1992, Adela Lisco was reunited with her high school friend, Anna Marie Correa, after 7 years of separation.
People get married, everybody goes their own ways, and we just lost touch for a few years. We still had that friendship that we always shared, and that never was lost. We always cared about each other, but we just never got a chance to see each other.
Adele was especially eager to see Anna Marie's 13-year-old son, Julio.
Last time I had seen him was when he was a little baby. He was a lively boy. I mean, he was lots of fun. And I know his cheeks were splitting from laughing so hard we did nothing but joke that whole night long.
No one that evening knew that tragedy was about to strike, or that their unexpected reunion would be the start of an incredible miracle. A few nights later, Julio woke up with a stabbing pain in his head.
He started screaming that he had pain. One of his eyes was hurting very bad, and he just collapsed. And I did not know what happened.
2 blood vessels in Julio's brain had ruptured, causing a life-threatening situation. The young boy was rushed to Philadelphia Children's Hospital, where a team of neurosurgeons attempted to repair the damage. But after the delicate operation, Julio remained in a deep coma. His parents were advised to prepare for the worst.
I've released the pressure.
The doctor told us that he would never be able to do whatever he was able to do before, and was only 1% that he would live, and if he did, he'd be a vegetable.
I know that's easy for me to say and horribly difficult for you to hear.
At the same time, Adela Lisco was calling her friend to thank her for the wonderful evening they'd shared.
Her brother answered the phone and said that Julia was dying in the hospital. He's dying? And I remember the shock that I felt, and not believing that this was happening to him. I mean, a boy that was totally well 3 nights before, and all of a sudden now he was dying in the hospital, and I didn't know what to do for him.
And then she remembered a special relic that she'd purchased years before at the Philadelphia shrine of St. John Newman, a saint known for his miraculous powers of healing.
It was a chip of the bone of St. John Newman. I believed that if I purchased this relic, as soon as somebody would need it, I would give it to them, and with the hope and the faith that he would perform a miracle for them.
Adele took the relic and rushed to the hospital with her husband Joe to join her friends there.
I was taken back by what I saw. It just broke my heart. I truly didn't know how to comfort them.
And so she gave her friend the relic, hoping that it might help ease her pain.
He's a healing saint. And she said, I don't know of this saint. And I remember telling her he does miracles, he is a healing saint. And he did heal a boy in the same hospital 10 years before. And the healing took place when his mother placed a medal of St. John Newman on his chest, and that medal shifted in different places, and then it disappeared. And the miracle was performed, and he was well again. And I thought, if that could happen for this other boy, why not Julia? And I'd like you to place it on him.
You know about it. Why don't you do it?
Okay.
And so, with no medical cure in sight, the relic was taped to Julio's lifeless body. The amazing conclusion, when It's a Miracle returns. On January 10, 1992, 13-year-old Julio Correa suffered a massive brain hemorrhage that left him near death and in a medically irreversible coma. Adele Alisco, a friend of the family, had purchased a religious relic of a saint known for the miracles he performed. And now she brought the small medallion and the story of its miraculous powers to the hospital, placing it on the young boy's lifeless body. Inspired by her friend's gift and the stories of St. John Newman's healing powers, Anna Marie visited his shrine to pray for a miracle for her son.
I was asking, please, go to Julio and keep him company because he's only a little boy and he needs some company at this time.
But her prayers went unanswered, and as weeks turned into months, Julio remained in his coma.
Some of the nurses, they want to ask me to go home, and I decide no matter what will happen, I'm staying next to my son, and I will never leave him.
Thank you.
And then, finally, after months of hoping and praying, something mysterious occurred. The relic disappeared.
No, I don't know where it is. Do you?
I have no idea.
Anna Marie couldn't understand, where is the medal? What could have happened to it? And I said, no, don't get nervous. I said, this is like the same story that I remember with the boy, that he was healed when the medal disappeared.
Soon after, Julio began to show the first signs of movement in 3 months.
It's a long-term prospect as far as care is concerned.
But the doctor warned his parents that this didn't mean that he would regain consciousness or ever be normal.
I told them, I don't believe you. I said my son would do exactly the things that he used to do before. Maybe a little bit, might have a little bit difficulty, but I know in time, when God gives a miracle, he gives a full miracle.
And that full miracle came faster than expected when Julio suddenly regained consciousness.
Mom? Oh my God.
He was alert and even able to speak.
Where's John?
And I said, John, who?
My friend, John.
I thought, maybe he was talking about one of our friend's son. And he goes, no, this is a little boy.
My friend, John.
Julio told them the remarkable story of the little boy who visited him during his coma.
I was having this dream, and I went into my grandfather's backyard, and it was like thundering and lightning.
That's him.
And
Yeah.
lightning struck the tree, and the tree branch fell on top of him. This boy fell, and the tree branch fell on top of him. I lifted the tree branch off of him, and I helped him up, and he said, would you like to play for a little while before I have to go? We went into the backyard, and I said to him, will I ever see you again? He said, no. And then I got upset because I felt that he was a deep friend.
Hey, wait up!
Before he disappeared, he tells me, open your eyes and wake up. And I did.
Mom? Dad?
After he was sufficiently recovered, Julio joined his parents in a visit to the shrine of the saint that they believed saved their son's life.
I really wanted you to see this place.
This is really nice. I'm hungry.
As they were about to leave, something incredible happened.
Hey, Mom, look, that's John. It's my friend John.
What?
My friend John, the one that I was telling you about. That's him.
She goes, are you sure? And I go, yeah, I'm positive. He kept me company. And we had a good time in Grandpa's backyard.
The boy in his dream had been young St. John Newman.
I had no doubt that it was St. John
That's St. John Newman
Julia
when he was
had
a little
seen
boy.
A picture of him, so he didn't know who this kid was. And when he showed us in the picture that he seen, I knew was for sure St. John Newman was with him.
It was one more amazing piece in the puzzle of a miracle. From a chance reunion with an old friend just days before a medical crisis would leave their son dying, to the friend's knowledge of a saint who possessed miraculous healing powers and a relic that might save his life, to a mother's prayer that the saint give her son company in his time of need, and the revelation that his mother's prayers were answered when young St. John Newman came to him in his dreams.
Hey, wait up!
There's never been a doubt that miracles don't exist. I always believed that they would happen, but never thinking that it would happen to somebody so close to me.
I know God exists. I believe in deeply in miracle. And I feel if anybody be in this situation or different situation, they should believe in miracles.
I felt really strange at first, you know. But then when I realized how special I must have been to have that sort of a miracle performed on me, I'd have to say, it felt pretty good.
So that is a story. Okay. Well, surprise, surprise, God, it is so bright, right before your eyes. It's perfect. Surprise, surprise, God, it is so bright. Open up your eyes and see. Đó, cái phép lạ này đó. This miracle, you know, the Miracle Society, you know, in the United States, they consider as a real miracle, and they put it on TV for everyone to see. Okay, so St. John Newman right here with you. If you want to pray to him anything, please pray to him, and we can learn something from this story. Is we can become friends with the saint. You see that? He's in a coma, and St. John Newman come and play with him in the backyard, and then he opened up and said, "Where's John?" And then later, when he visited the shrine, the museum, he saw the picture. He said, "Oh, this is John." He saw in the coma, and now he's still alive. Okay, so that is something about St. John Newman, that he's right here with you. If you want to pray to him later. Okay? And now we talk about vocation. So cái chủ đề hôm nay chúng ta chia sẻ với nhau tụi con đó là Saint Joseph and his vocation. Okay, Saint Joseph has a very special vocation, and Saint Joseph is your patron saint. And now you are still young, little one, bigger one, you know, whatever you are searching for your vocation. Okay, so now bây giờ tụi con hiểu thế nào là vocation. Oh, sorry. What is a vocation? The word vocation comes from the Latin word vocare, meaning to call or summon. Call. Each one of us, we have vocation. So let me ask you. So what is the vocation of this iPhone? The engineer, when they make this iPhone, for what? For what? To communicate, right? To call. Can you use this iPhone to keep the paper from wind? Can you use iPhone to break the ice? Yeah, you can. You can use this iPhone to throw at someone you really mad at them? Yeah, you can, right? You can use this iPhone for whatever you want. But it must be iPhone when they use to communicate. The engineer didn't make this iPhone to break the ice. They make this phone For what? To communicate. So the vocation of this iPhone is communication. And each one of the things in the church, everything have their own function. Right? Nhưng mà cái iPhone này tụi con, this iPhone have no freedom to choose. Thiên Chúa, God create each one of us, and He meant that you become something. Like He said, like, oh, what's your name, please? Anna. God, before you was formed in your mother's womb, God said, Anna, you will become a doctor. Maybe she said, God said, Anna, you will become a nun. Or said, you become a president of Canada. Right? But you have a choice. You say, no, God, I want to become a teacher. Can you? Yes. We have free will to choose. But you will not the best of your version. Right? You will not be the best of your version. You cannot run out of the picture that God have for you from the beginning. But the most important thing is God gives you free will to choose. He have the will for him, for you. Like Saint Joseph. Can you imagine? Saint Joseph, he has his own plan. He will get married with Mary, and he have a normal family. Like every Jew. He have his own plan. Right? And he engaged with our Blessed Mother already. But they have no relationship at all. But suddenly, Joseph see Mary pregnant. Oh my God, what happened? What's going on? Who is the father of the baby? So Joseph really feel nervous. He feel nervous. And for sure he pray. He said, God, I love her very much. And she's a good lady. And I engaged to her already. Now, what can I do? Because according to the Jewish tradition, if you're pregnant with someone else that is not your future husband, people will throw the stone at you until you die. So Joseph, nervous. He don't know what to do. Now if he say to everyone like, okay, Mary, she pregnant with the other guy, not me. People will kill Mary. But he nervous because he's a good guy. Okay? He nervous. He didn't know how to do. And he prayed, God, what I should do now? And then when he's sleeping, I'm so tired, God. What happened? The angel came to him in his dream and said, Joseph, don't be afraid to bring Mary home because she's pregnant because of the power of the Holy Spirit. And then Joseph recognized. Joseph, yes. And when he wake up, St. Matthew said, he do it right away. He run to Mary home and bring Mary to his house. Can you imagine? So now, from that moment, Joseph know what is his vocation. And then he stayed with Mary. He helped Mary. He take care of Mary. Even, she's not real wife of him. But because he trusts in the Lord, in God. That's God promised. God said to him, even in his dream, can you imagine? His faith is really strong. Can you imagine when you dream about something and you believe that that's God's will? Except when your faith must be very strong. So Saint Joseph, he realized his vocation because he prayed, he listened, he meditated, he waiting. See that? The regular English uses the word vocation is used to refer our job or a career. In the church, it refers to a call from God. Why we say that's a call? Because we have our freedom to respond to that call. But actually, a vocation is what God really meant for you from the beginning. He wants you to be happy. And each one of us, we want to be happy. And in order to be happy, real happy, you must be yourself. Right? You are a teacher. And you feel like you have a full energy to become a teacher. Like me, after 22 years as redemptorist and 9 years as a priest, I know that my vocation is a priest. Because of that, I have freedom, I'm telling you. Wherever God send me, tomorrow my superior say, hey Peter, I want to send you to Africa, I go. God tell me like, I need you in Ukraine, I go. Because I know that this is my vocation. So when you found your vocation, you feel so happy. You feel freedom. You will become the best of your version. That version God created you. If God created you the iPhone 10, you must be iPhone 10. You cannot be iPhone 8. Okay? So praying and asking, God, what is my vocation? Help me to realize. And God, more than anybody else, God loves to tell you His will for you. So you could be happy. You could be full in your life. Absolutely, you have your free will to choose. God wants you to be like this, but you don't care. You want to be like this. You will not be really happy. Because that is just half of you. That's just because of your effort. But not you are who you are. You understand what I mean, right? So that is vocation. And Saint Joseph, you see that? He has his own plan. But he really believed. He prayed, he discerned, he listened, and even in his dream, he recognized his vocation. Okay, so now, in the general, every one of us, we have vocation. We have religious life, like a nuns, like a brother, or we have a priesthood. So you guys, if you want to become a priest, talk to Father Dung, Father Kha, or myself. Right now, I am vocation director of the Baltimore province, Redemptorist of Baltimore province. All right? So, or marriage, or single life. So general in the church, we have this vocation. If God wants you to become a priest, you don't want to become a priest, you get married, I'm telling you, you will not be happy. Because your wife will drive you nuts. Your wife will drive you nuts. But if God wants you to become a father, a husband, I say, no, I just want to become a priest. You will not be happy too. The other priest will drive you nuts. I'm telling you, that's the truth. Right? So, you better to ask God. You better to ask Him, God, what do you want for me from the beginning? Can you imagine, before you draw a flower on the paper, right? No, after you draw the flower on the paper, do you think the flower on the paper is the first image you have of that flower? So where's the first image? In your mind, right? If you don't have the image of the flower in your mind, you have no idea to draw it down on the paper. And if you are a good artist, you know what kind of flower you draw, where you will hang it, on the bathroom, on the, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, whatever. And you know what material you will draw it, and how long it will exist if you are a good artist. More than an artist, God knows us. He has a perfect plan for you. But the most interesting is He gives you free will to choose. Your will and God's will have to come together. And if you know how to pray, how to listen, and He tells you, I really want you to become a teacher. I want you to become a wife. I want you to become a nun. I want you to live just a single life, to have energy to do something for others. You will become different. So that is a vocation, you know. And now all of us, you have direction to go. Your mother, your father, done. They done already. Your mother cannot say, oh, now I want to become a nun. No, cannot. But a nun can become a mother. You see? Can I say no to God now? Yes. I say, God, I just fall in love with a beautiful girl. I think my vocation is wrong. I want to get married. Yes. But someone get married already? I want to become a priest? No. So you better to consider about your vocation as religious life first. Right? So you have a second chance. Okay, just kidding. But I'm telling you, if you want to be happy, if you want to be yourself, you need to pray. You need to ask God. Okay? So that meaning like discerning. Okay? Saint Joseph and his vocation, as I just talked to you, I just, share to you. He has his own plan. But when he recognized God's will, he totally go to that direction. And he become the best version of himself. Can you imagine at that time he say, no, I run away from Mary. Everything could change. But he listened, he realized, and he responded to God's call. All right? And he become a great saint, the greatest saint in heaven. And people will remember about him forever. The same thing with St. John Newman. Can you imagine? St. John Newman, he came to the United States when he's still young, 24 years old. And he knows that is his vocation. And when God meant for you to become something, he will give you enough grace, enough talents, enough gifts to do what God really wants for you. All right? So St. Joseph, he realized. So I hope that you will pray and you will recognize your vocation. So now, there are 4 steps to vocation discernment. You cannot recognize God's will if you don't pray. Pray, what does that mean? Pray is you talking to Him. You listen to Him. You asking Him and then listen. And God is not come next to you and say, no. He talked to you in your spirit. He talked to you through your parents. He talked to you through the priest. He talked to you through your teacher. He talked to you to someone that you come and you ask person to counsel you. Okay, so first step, you have to pray. The second thing is you have to learn about yourself. You have to know yourself. For example, I don't know why, but I can play piano very well. That's your talent, right? And you say, no, I like computer science. And when you go to school, you really struggle about computer science. But you are very good about artists. Each one of us, we have a talent. The thing is, you have to discover about that. Knowing yourself. If you become a priest, and then, someone wants to become a priest, and they see a beautiful girl, and their eyes just like this. How can they become a priest? Right? Or someone have to get married, but they look a handsome boy or a handsome girl, he just run away. So what I really meant is you have to know yourself. Because your vocation is something in you already. God created you and He put that in you already. And then you have to discover about yourself. And the third step is seek counsel. You ask someone who have experience. You ask your catechist. You ask your parents. You ask your teachers, priest. You ask vocation director. And the last one is when you realize something, you dare to act and confirm. See that? So pray, knowing yourself, get counsel, and then, yeah, I know that. This is my vocation. And then you do to do something to go that. Right now, you know, like I'm having some guy, okay? He discerned about vocation. And I saw someone really have vocation. But he's the owner of a big salon, nail salon, Vietnamese, you know. He have a big salon in a mall. And he know that he have vocation as a priest. But he love money, you know. He love money. He say, Father, you know, not easy for me now to sell it away and then follow God. And he just, this year and that year and that. 5 years already. And he couldn't make a decision. Even he know that he has vocation. So when you realize something, you dare to act. You dare to confirm and do something. And then just walk, and God will walk along with you. And then after a while, you look back and say, oh my God, I thank you so much. You know, for me, after 22 years as a redemptorist and 8 years as a priest, I have a lot of struggle. But until now, I feel this is my vocation, and I'm full of happiness. And a full freedom. I don't afraid of anything, because I know that. After a while, I go, my God, I go. And then I look back and say, oh, I see that God, you walk with me. So now, my future, okay, I feel free to go with Him. Okay, so that is a vocation. And Saint Joseph, can you imagine, when he know that God come to him and tell him, he dare to bring Mary home. And then when Jesus just a little baby, God said, wake up and bring Mary and the children, go to Egypt. He wake up right away. Right in that night. And he go to Egypt. Go to Egypt and stay there for a while. And then God said, come back. Can you imagine from Israel to Egypt, far away. And at that time, they just walk. So when you know that your vocation, I'm telling you, you have a strength inside. Inside, you know that. And you're happy. You have strength. Okay, so that is Saint Joseph vocation. Okay, so now pray to Saint Joseph to find your vocation. Each one of us, we have special vocation. Let me tell you, I just read an article, and they said 75 young people in the United States nowadays, they don't like their job. 75 of them, 75% of young people in the United States, they don't like their job. If you don't want to say, they hate their job. Why they have to go to work? They have to work to get money. That's it. And they have no joy in their job. Because of that, they just leave at the weekend. Happy weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is their life. And that's terrible. Another resource tell me that. Imagine we have 80 years to live, right? 80 years to live. Not live 80 years. And when you are 22, you just start your career. Meaning you have 60 years to live. If you spend 7 hours a day to sleep, you lost 20 years to live. Meaning you have only 40 years to live to be happy. Okay? And if you're not happy in your life, if you don't like your job, if you don't like what you do, if your week you just happy on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, you lost 40 years. Meaning you have only 11 years to live to be happy. Can you imagine? Because of that, you have to pray. You have to pray for your vocation. You have to pray for your job also. Your job is also your vocation. You go to school, and school teach you how to do your job. They never teach you how to be happy in your job. That's the work between you and God. And now, con cũng thưa với quý ông bà anh chị em luôn. I talk to your parents. You have to teach your children how to be happy in your job, in their job. How to choose the right job. How to choose the right vocation. Otherwise, we have only 11 years to be happy. Even you are granted for 80 years. 80 years, but only 11 years to be happy. Okay, so more than anybody else, Saint Joseph, he knows his vocation. So I begging you, come to him and say, Saint Joseph, please pray for me. Help me to find my vocation. And God will tell you, and pray, discern, know yourself, and act and be confirmed. Okay? Thank you tụi con. Rồi, bây giờ mình hát lại cái bài kia đi, rồi mình kết thúc thôi. Ta thấy tụi con mệt rồi. Okay, so please stand, please. Surprise, surprise, God, it is surprise. Right before your eyes is baffling to the wise. Surprise, surprise, God, it is surprise. Open up your eyes and see one more time. Surprise, surprise, God, it is surprise. Right before your eyes is baffling to the wise. Surprise, surprise, God, it is surprise. Open up your eyes and see. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, cha Linh rất là nhiều nhé.
Dạ, cảm ơn.
Yeah. Xin mời cha Linh ngày mai là đoàn thiếu nhi chúng ta sẽ ăn mừng lễ Thánh GIUSE sau lễ thứ hai. Cho nên chúng con cũng xin mời cha dự tiệc với chúng con.
Chắc chắn rồi. Cảm ơn cha.
Xin quý ông bà và anh chị em, everyone, please give cha Linh a big hand. It was very.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Rồi, cảm ơn cha Kha, cảm ơn tụi con rất là nhiều nha. Thank you. Yeah.
I remember how you told me that life may not be easy, and everything that I need, you've already given me. I remember how you told me I can trust you completely. So why am I doubting when you prove that you'd fight for me? You've walked me through fire, pulled me from flames. If you're in this with me, I won't be afraid. When the smoke billows higher, oh, and higher, and it feels like I can barely breathe. I walk through these fires, 'cause you're walking with me. I'm changed by your mercy, covered by your peace. I'm living out the victory. Does it mean I won't feel the heat? You've walked me through fire, pulled me from flames. If you're in this with me,
Không cần nữa. Cái nghi này.
Cái dây điện để cắm được rồi.
Không cần nhiều biết rồi. Cái